Hello, this is Horror Studio One, and this is my unedited podcast. Hello, all the fans of Horror Studio One. This is Horror Studio One coming to you once again with the unedited podcast. So, for those of you who read this title and don't know what we're going to be talking about today, it's something I'm extremely passionate about, actually. So, I don't know if you guys heard, Bradshaw Ranch. It's a place similar to, I guess, the Bermuda Triangle, or Skinwalker Ranch. But of course, those places are a bit harder to get to. But what we're going to talk about today in this little podcast we have, known as Bradshaw Ranch, is something that is really easier to get to. For those of you guys who don't know, I am a guy that lives in Canada. And for this upcoming December, I and a friend are planning to travel to Bradshaw Ranch. First of all, the location of the place is it's hard to get to when you have to actually physically take the car to get there. But in general, it's in the area of Arizona. So like I said, I'm planning to actually go there in the December time, even though in December time the weather is actually quite hot there. Or at least compared to like the Canadian winters of snow and rain, it's a lot better. So I do plan to go there, and I'm planning to travel from Phoenix, Arizona, and taking a bus that goes all the way to Sedona, where this ranch is located. On my trip, I'm gonna go to some trails, a lot of outdoor stuff, canyon trips, look at the native reserves that are there, and one thing I really want to do from doing this is obviously, besides experiencing for myself, which is the most prime thing I want to do, because my birthday is coming up and I want to have a different, a unique birthday, Besides that, I want you guys to see it too. I want to document the whole thing. I want to post it on my YouTube channel. I want to have a whole experience, a whole journey, and bring you guys along the ride as well. Maybe not in a live fashion, maybe taking all the video clips, all the photos, everything, and putting them together when I get back, and then uploading on YouTube, like a 2-hour thing or something like that. That would be so sick. But, yeah, that's just one of the things I really want to do. I mean, all those Apache trails and native reserve trails. I do a lot of stories, about skinwalkers, about ghosts, Reddit Let's Not Meet encounters that happen in forests and trails and the nature. And where I live, there is nature, but nothing of that aspect. I get to physically go to the trail where I read a story that some guy saw skinwalkers. So, I mean, I'm not looking for trouble. But the thing is, I want to experience those places for myself because I've been reading it for 2 years of those kinds of stories. And it's my chance to finally do this for myself, to go to those places. Because I'm extremely interested in these kind of topics, and so are you if you're here. If you're still here with me after this very energetic rant, I thank you for that. So, what is Bradshaw Ranch? Let's get to the core and the meat of what we're here for today, which is going to be one of my travel spots for sure, one of my final travel spots, and hopefully I can make it back. So just a little bit of information. It is located in Sedona, which is a small city off of the Phoenix airport and off of Phoenix. The history of Bradshaw Ranch really goes back to a man called Bob Bradshaw. So we have an article right here, and I'm just going to read a little bit of who Bob Bradshaw is, how this ranch went from being a film set on major Hollywood movies back in the 40s and the 60s to a place where people have seen goddamn dinosaurs. So, without further ado, let's grab a blanket. Let's turn off the lights, actually. There we go. We just turn off all the lights. I'm going to narrate a little bit of history for Bradshaw Ranch, the owner, the history, the mystery. Bradshaw Ranch. In 1945, Bob Bradshaw, a budding photographer and actor, moved to Oak Creek Canyon to alleviate seasonal allergies. Soon after, he opened a Kodak licensed photography shop and established himself as a pillar in the community. It was during this time that Hollywood gained significant interest in using the majestic red rocks As a backdrop in westerns, television programs, and commercials, Bradshaw became integral in their productions. In 1960, Bradshaw acquired a large parcel of land covering 140 acres. At the time, the only remaining structure was an old adobe house. He quickly put to use his Hollywood contacts and utilized a ranch as a filming destination. The tour company operated by the Bradshaws. Bob worked on 28 films, 19 television shows, and 77 commercials during his lifetime, and the ranch itself hosted 5 films, 2 television series, and numerous commercials. It remained a fixture of the property until 1986. It was an old western town set was erected on the grounds. Bitter Creek, as the town was known, was rebuilt in the 1990s. It was during this time when John Bradshaw took over management of the land and utilized it as a dude ranch, a tourist destination for horseback rides, cookouts, and jeep tours. Bradshaw Ranch wasn't all Hollywood glamour, though, and hosts an obscure history that revealed itself suddenly, though for those involved, not unexpectedly. It was in 1992 that Bob Bradshaw's wife, Linda, came with several of her sons, began to catalog unusual activity on the property. It began slowly with sightings of unusual lights in the clear desert sky, and escalated into tales of Bigfoot, UFOs, extraterrestrial beings, dinosaurs, and strange creatures. Linda firmly believed that the ranch was home to what she referred to as a light portal. She inferred that whatever the anomalies and strange activity occurring was due to an interdimensional window to which creatures benign and benevolent could freely travel from one dimension to another. This was not a new notion, however. In 1975, the IDH was presented as a favorable theory, and IDH states that UFOs and related paranormal phenomenon are not visitations from other planets, but from other dimensions that coexist as separate entities alongside our own. One encounter Linda described was that of being woken by one of her sons, who was in the company of a woman and her daughter in the early hours of the morning. She alleges that at approximately 2:45 a.m., her son and the woman not only spotted an unidentified craft, but had an encounter with extraterrestrial beings as well. Strolling past the windows were 4 short-statured aliens, wearing tight-fitting one-piece uniforms of a light tan color. They were what typically called the Zeta Reticuli, also known as the Greys. Only these appeared to be a bit more ashen-colored, almost white in color. Once the beings were out of sight and the witnesses recomposed themselves, the 3 of them jumped into their car and sped to the house where her other friends were sleeping. She remembers so vividly how her son vigorously shook her arm to wake her up, and can still hear the trepidation in his voice as he said, "Mom, wake up, they're here." She raised up and said, "Who's here?" He exclaimed, "The aliens, Mom." The strange sightings persisted, and Linda continued to document with the best of her ability. She would take random photographs in random areas to see if things would develop on film, which she could sense was invisible to the naked eye. The photos were taken on 35 millimeters and developed at a local photo processing center. She amassed a large collection of light anomalies, which she believed to be alien beings, as well as various unidentified craft. She also captured and had interactions with a Bigfoot she referred to as Big Girl, and believed she was in the company of young offspring as well. Now, the ranch today. There are a variety of researchers and authors who supplement their time by providing UFO and vortex tours in the area. Several of these tours include a visit to Bradshaw Ranch for those hoping to catch something out of the ordinary. Tours can venture out with Sedona resident Jocelyn Buckner, who wrote a guide specifically focused on the ranch, She urges visitors to respect the fence line and claims there's no reason to trespass. Invite the unseen others to visit you. You will see, feel, or hear them if you remain open. Their most reported sightings during these tours are photos of orbs. These orbs are not visible to the eye, but show up on photographs, often looking as if they are attracted to certain individuals. The orb phenomenon is an extremely controversial topic, with proponents offering up the "it's not dust" mantra. Opponents and many professional photo analysts surmise that the majority of objects referred to as orbs have a very simple explanation: due to dust, moisture, and other particles in the area. The ranch continues to attract international recognition as a paranormal hotspot. So, yeah, I mean, Bradshaw Ranch even now is set to remain an enigma. A lot of people still don't understand it. But it is in the canyon surrounding Sedona. I will be spending a lot of days in Sedona. Well, I mean, about like 5. So definitely one of the places I hope to visit. What do you guys think it is? Could it be a portal to another dimension? I mean, it could be, because the thing with Arizona is it is one of the most UFO extraterrestrial ridden places in the States, and one of in the whole world. So definitely I'm going to check out this ranch. Hopefully one day go to Skinwalker Ranch, because there's a lot of those invisible animals, creatures, monsters walking around. So hopefully I can catch one of these tours, get to the ranch, and yeah, experience the thing for myself. So if you guys have any suggestions for what I should do, where I should go, or what kind of format you guys want this content to be distributed in, put it in the comments below. And yeah, thank you guys once again for listening for the podcast. This is my interest. I really am passionate about this kind of stuff. And for those individuals in Arizona during the beginning of December around the area, if you like to meet up or go have a drink, put it in the comments or DM me. And hopefully that can happen as well if you guys really do want to. So yeah, I want to thank you guys once again for everything, for listening, for being interested in what I'm interested in, and for being along for the ride for so long. It's almost 3 years on this YouTube channel, really. So yeah, many, many days. So Bradshaw Ranch, guys, my trip to Arizona. I'll talk to you guys more about that. Definitely give you guys an update. And hopefully you guys are enjoying the new Asian horror stories videos and all the other stuff I've been putting out. Go follow my Instagram if you haven't. And ciao outside. Just want, for those of you who know, you know.